Welcome back to my channel, HR Payroll Australia. If you're new here, hello and welcome. And if you're already part of the payroll family, you already know one thing. Payroll people are built different. We don't just press a button and everyone gets paid. Payroll is like cooking biryani for 500 people on a deadline while someone keeps changing the recipe and the gas keeps turning off. So today's video is about something super important, what a payroll officer should have. Not just skills, but the right attitude, mindset, and habits that actually make you successful in payroll. Let's start with the 3 big pillars of payroll: speed, accuracy, and teamwork. Payroll is fast-paced. You can't take 3 days to fix one timesheet issue because the pay run is coming like a train and it doesn't stop for anyone. But at the same time, speed without accuracy is dangerous. If you process fast but make mistakes, you're not saving time. You're creating future problems. And payroll problems don't stay small. One small mistake becomes 5 tickets, then 10 follow-ups, then a manager calling, then an employee getting stressed, and suddenly you are doing damage control payroll instead of normal payroll. So yes, be quick, but be correct. And the 3rd pillar is teamwork, because payroll is not a one-person show. Payroll touches HR, finance, managers, employees, and sometimes external teams too. If you can't work with people, payroll will feel like a daily war. Now let's talk about something people don't say loudly, but it's real: likability. This is not about being fake or acting like a celebrity in the office. It's about being professional, respectful, helpful, and easy to work with. You can be the smartest payroll officer in the world, but if you talk rudely, act arrogant, or refuse to help others, your growth will stop. Payroll is a team environment, and people always remember how you made them feel. So yes, be knowledgeable, be fast, be accurate, but also be someone people trust and enjoy working with. In payroll, your reputation is your resume. Now let's expose some pretty resume words that everyone writes, but not everyone truly has. The first one is team player. In most medium to large organizations, payroll is a team of 3 to 15 people, sometimes even more. And in a team, you will meet all types of personalities. Some people share knowledge openly, and some people don't. Some people are helpful, and some people act like they're protecting secrets, like it's a spy movie. And yes, sometimes people don't share knowledge because they feel insecure, or because they fear outsourcing, or because they think if I share, I become replaceable. But here's the truth: the best payroll professionals are the ones who lift the whole team. If you share your knowledge, you become valuable. If you help others, you become trusted. And trust is what builds careers. Also remember, payroll is like a brand inside the company. Every email you send, every reply you give, every problem you solve, it represents your payroll team. So be careful how you speak, how you behave, and how you respond under pressure. People don't remember the payroll software name. They remember the payroll experience. The next resume word is proactive and willing to learn. In payroll, proactive doesn't mean you do extra work for free and burn yourself out. Proactive means you don't sit and wait for problems to hit you. You prepare early. For example, if you join a new company and you have limited knowledge of their payroll process, don't panic. Start smart. Learn the company structure first. Who does what in HR, payroll, finance, employee relations, compliance, and systems? Learn the pay cycles, pay periods, payroll cutoff times, and approval processes. If you're going to be trained on new hires, don't wait until someone teaches you everything. Go into previous folders, check past onboarding documents, review how others processed things, and understand what good looks like in that organization. Read the SOPs, take your own notes, understand what states the company operates in, what leave types exist, and what common payroll issues come up every week. And one big rule in payroll: if you're stuck, don't guess. Never assume. Always ask questions and always confirm. Proactive payroll officers don't create noise. They create stability. Another big skill is managing priorities and time. Payroll is full of tickets, emails, follow-ups, and last-minute requests. If you try to solve everything randomly, you will drown. Payroll doesn't always work first in, first out. It works based on effective dates and pay run deadlines. If you have a new hire starting next month and another new hire starting tomorrow, your priority is tomorrow's starter. because payroll is all about keeping the pay run accurate and on time. The best payroll officers don't just work hard, they work in the right order. They know what is urgent, what is important, and what can wait. And they keep clear notes so nothing gets missed. Now let's talk about the big one, payroll knowledge. A payroll officer should understand the basics of Australian payroll properly. You should know how tax works at a high level, what marginal tax means, and how pay-G withholding behaves. You should understand superannuation rules, including how salary packaging can impact calculations. You should know how to identify overpayments and underpayments, and how to fix them correctly. Because once money goes out, it's not always easy to bring it back. And remember, in many cases, you can't just reduce someone's future salary to recover overpayments unless the employee agrees. So you must be careful and follow the right process. A strong payroll officer also understands awards, EBAs, allowances, overtime rules, shift loadings, leave loading, public holidays, parental leave rules, and termination payments. You don't need to know everything on day one. Payroll is too big for that. But you must know how to learn it, where to check, and how to apply it properly. Along with payroll knowledge, you also need system knowledge. Payroll is not just legislation and math. Payroll is also payroll systems, configurations, and data quality. Many times, the system is not wrong. The setup is wrong, or the data entry is wrong, or the rule was not applied properly. A payroll officer should understand how to use the payroll software confidently, how to check pay results, how to run reports, how to troubleshoot common errors, and how to test changes safely. If your company has a test environment, use it. It's better to learn and test in a safe space than to experiment in the live payroll and accidentally create chaos. And yes, learning payroll systems takes time, but it's one of the biggest career boosters. If you can combine payroll knowledge with system confidence, you become a very strong candidate in the market. Now let's add something very important that many people forget: confidentiality and trust. Payroll officers handle sensitive information every single day: salaries, bank details, tax file numbers, leave balances, personal situations, terminations, and sometimes very private employee matters. A payroll officer must be discreet. You cannot gossip. You cannot casually talk about someone's pay. You cannot forward sensitive data carelessly. In payroll, trust is everything. Once trust is broken, it's almost impossible to repair. So be the person who keeps information safe, follows proper access controls, and treats payroll data like it's gold. Another must-have quality is clear communication. Payroll is not just about calculations. It's about explaining things in a calm and simple way. Sometimes employees are stressed, angry, or confused. Sometimes managers are rushing you. Sometimes HR wants a quick answer. Your job is to stay calm, communicate clearly, and keep it professional. Even if someone is emotional, you don't become emotional back. You become the stable person in the room. A good payroll officer doesn't just say it's not possible. They explain what happened, what the solution is, and what the timeline will be. Because half of payroll success is not only fixing issues, it's how you manage people during the issue. Now let's talk about stress handling, because payroll can be stressful. You're dealing with money, deadlines, compliance, and people's lives. People don't call payroll to say, "Hey, bestie, just wanted to say you're amazing." No, they call when something goes wrong, and the pressure increases during pay run, end of financial year, audits, and system upgrades. You might be dealing with internal conflicts, external agencies, and multiple stakeholders at once. The best way to handle payroll stress is not magic, it's structure. Good time management, proactive planning, proper notes, and asking for help early. Also, learn to separate emotion from the task. If someone is angry, it doesn't mean you are bad at your job. It means payroll is important, and people care about getting paid correctly. Your job is to solve it professionally. Another important skill is problem solving and attention to detail. Payroll is full of small details that can change everything. One wrong effective date can create a wrong pay. One wrong cost center can create a finance issue. One wrong leave code can create compliance issues. Payroll officers must be detail-oriented, but also logical. When something looks wrong, you don't ignore it. You investigate it. You compare current and previous pay. You check the employee history. You validate the inputs, and you confirm the outputs. And when you fix something, you document it properly. Payroll is not just fix and forget. Payroll is fix and prove. Now let's talk about the final mindset, can-do attitude. Payroll is like an ocean. You can't drink the whole ocean in one day. You will never know everything. New rules come, systems change, policies update, and business needs shift. A payroll manager doesn't expect you to know everything, but they do expect you to have the right attitude. I will learn, I will figure it out, and I will ask the right questions. People who succeed in payroll are not always the smartest. They are the most consistent. They learn step by step, they stay humble, they support the team, and they don't panic under pressure. So if I had to summarize what a payroll officer should have, it's this. Be fast, but accurate. Be helpful, not difficult. Be proactive, not lazy. Manage your time. Learn the rules. Understand the system. Protect confidentiality. Communicate clearly, and stay calm under pressure. Payroll is not just a job. It's a responsibility. You're literally protecting people's pay, the company's compliance, and the organization's trust. And if you build these qualities, you won't just survive in payroll, you'll grow in payroll. All right, friends, that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to HR Payroll Australia because we keep payroll real, practical, and a little bit funny, just like the payroll life itself. See you in the next video.